South Bay Jewelry has established trust and been a confidant in Laguna Woods for over 30 years. It's very scary trying to figure out which of our possessions are valuable, what pieces we should leave to our children, and which ones we should cash out. For nearly 30 years, we have worked and consulted with our friends in Laguna Woods to help them sort through their possessions, guiding their decision to sell and the legacy to their heirs. Protect your legacy, located near Trader Joe's.
We welcome you back to the program, and of course this is the time of the year when I know a lot of people like to get dressed up and go to parties, and I know my wife sometimes digs out the jewelry that she maybe only wears a few times a year and puts that on for that special holiday event or party we might be going to. Well, as you're doing that process, you may come across some things and you're saying, you know, I never wear this and I probably never will wear it, I don't like the style or whatever it might be. Our next guests are experts in helping you figure out what to do with all of that. And joining us today, Gina Watson and Amanda Thomas from South Bay Jewelry. Ladies, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Now, face it, there's other companies that do this, that buy gold and watches and other things as well. But I think you have kind of a unique perspective. What sets you folks apart?
Well, I think one of the things that we have is 3 generations. We're family owned and operated. We're certified GIA gemologists, appraisers. We started auctioneering in the 60s in Orange County. So we know the values of material. Mm-hmm. We know the value, and we have the family, and we train our family. And not only that, we've been in the same location for 30 years. There's not a lot of people that can say that.
Yeah.
And the fact is that our clients know that we're there. They know that we were there yesterday, and they know that we're going to be there tomorrow.
I think a lot of our residents appreciate that consistency and the fact that you're not just some new kids on the block, so to speak, doing this service. You have a program called the Legacy Program, and this may be different from some of the other people who are in a similar business yours. Can you briefly explain what the Legacy Program is all about and how it works?
Yes. Well, the Legacy Program was designed because we really were heartfelt with a lot of our clients coming in and repeating the same thing, the hardship of learning how to decipher, how to go through their treasures, how to figure out what is of value, what is not. And at that point, we would say to them, you know, some of this we'd really like for you to look at for your family members. So the best way to explain it would be Amanda Thomas, who works with us at Laguna Woods location, and she will tell you about our Legacy Program.
Yeah, if you don't mind, share a little bit about that.
Well, not being directly related to South Bay Jewelry, I do feel like a family member. And the Legacy Program really speaks to me in a way that I would want to share with everybody, not to get too emotional and too long into the story, but my mom passed away in May. And I grew up very humble, and we didn't have a lot to go around as far as memories of my mom. I have 3 sisters and the oldest granddaughter in the family as well, but since my mom got sick and died in a very short period of time, we didn't have the legacy or the opportunity to work with her to really get it, you know, to where nobody was hurt. You know, right. Feelings get hurt in those situations. So what the Legacy Program offered us and was the opportunity for me to have that trust in Gina. I had been a client for a long time. I knew when I went into her, I could tell her what was going on and that she would help advise me to what was best, not only for the store and for her company, but for me too. Mm-hmm. So we had one piece of very valuable jewelry. My mom left it to me. We then took that jewelry. Gina worked with the designer, we have a design there, to help us come up with a piece of jewelry utilizing the materials that I had, because I had no money to rework anything, to provide the opportunity. I mean, both of my sisters were able to get a little piece of jewelry from that one piece. I was able to keep something for myself, and then the oldest granddaughter. Mm-hmm. So from one piece of jewelry came all of that jewelry to pass along. So everyone was really happy with that.
That's really a neat story. So here was a situation where you folks maybe got some money for doing the work of the remanufacturing of this jewelry, but you didn't buy it and resell it. So you let them keep it in the family, and you advised them and assisted them in keeping that memory alive, and now those 4 ladies are going to have that memory to keep alive. It's kind of a
exactly
neat,
it.
kind of a neat story. Well, Amanda, thanks for sharing that. I think that's interesting, and I know a lot of people can probably share similar stories, especially with multiple children or limited number of pieces of things. You know, it's hard to slice up some of those things, but sometimes that's the best way to go is to make a modification. Is this what you ended up with? Was this yours, or this is a sample of what
This
you
is
did?
a sample.
Let's see if we can show that. I'm not sure what camera you want to shoot it on,
Yes.
Ken, but so here we have. This is actually somebody's put together a couple of rings with a diamond in the center. So
We
that's
embellish
unique.
the thoughts of the client, and we turn it into a design. And the wonderful thing about it is we are one of Orange County's only manufacturers. We have a full manufacturing development in one of our locations. So we can put everything of feeling into a piece of art and then onto the family members' hands. And
I would imagine it's almost like a historical lesson for you as a gemologist by training also to see how maybe that particular, say, diamond was cut in the 30s or 40s. I guess styles and traditions and techniques evolve over the years, so you can almost date it, almost like DNA dating or whatever, by saying, oh, this was cut this way, this was probably done in the 40s or something.
Right.
And some of that you don't want them to sell. You say,
Yeah.
keep this.
Yeah.
Who do you have in the family that you can give this to?
Right.
I don't want you to sell it.
Yeah.
And let's look at something else maybe that we want to sell. We can sell that. We'll take that money and use it for whatever you need to today. But for tomorrow, let's really think about these things before we sell them.
So it may be that you'll keep it intact as is if the person likes the style.
Right.
In your case, you had 3 other people to think about. This is part of
This
it?
is actually, what's nice about what I had was I had my original diamond from getting married. I was able to take that diamond out, sell it, and use one of my mother's stones. So this is kind of, sentimental to me.
Yeah.
I was able to use that, and now I have that. And it's a European cut, which was a stone that was cut only in a short period of time. What was it, the 20s to the 30s?
Yeah.
So it's really nice. It has a great dimensional,
Sure,
value that
sure.
no one can
And
copy.
that cut and that style isn't done today, so that makes it
Right.
even more not only monetarily valuable, but
Sure.
sentimentally valuable as well, since that was something special and special in your family as well. I would imagine from time to time someone's going to come in with something that they think is A, and you're going to tell them it's Z. I'm really sorry to tell you this, but this isn't what you had been told for 40 years.
Right, that happens a lot. And we're really careful. We, just very slowly, it is an emotional business. We listen very carefully. We help them get through those moments.
Sounds like an important service as well. So whether it's looking for something to sell, you also resell to the public as well. So if someone's looking for maybe a collectible watch or some jewelry that they could purchase for themselves or as a gift for their family, you also have the remanufacturing ability as well. And the ability to evaluate and price these things as well. You had to add something?
And I always do, sorry, just jumping in. What's also neat too is you can bring in broken chains, single cufflinks, one earring. You may have had a pair of diamond studs that you lost one earring. That diamond stud, you could either sell that diamond, use the gold to recreate something that you'll actually wear, whereas it just sits in your jewelry box. People don't realize. I had someone come in the other day and they said, oh, this is just fashion, it's probably not worth anything. They walked out with a check for $600. So you never know what you have until you sort through it. And that's another thing that's great about what we do and what's different. Is that we'll actually travel to go see people that may be in a home situation where they can't go out to the store. And we'll help them sort through this and get them the money, to help them pay for medications or, whatever they need.
Sure. Sounds like lots of flexibility and lots of ways to help folks out. We thank you both for joining us.
Thank you
Real
very
quick, where are you located?
Oak Brook Village, Aliso Viejo is our second location. The one nearby here that Amanda and I are at is on Avenida de la Carlota. We're right next door to Trader Joe's.
Good.
And then next year we'll be moving across the parking lot, which we'll talk about another time.
That new center rebuild, we've been hearing a lot about that as
Sure.
well. Good holiday season to both of you.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
for
joining us.
having us.
And
Thank you so
folks,
much.
if you got that jewelry, maybe you'd like it evaluated or remanufactured, or maybe you want to sell it, talk to these nice ladies and they can give you some good information. Give them a call, 830-0990 for more information. That's 830-0990. We'll continue on with more guests and more local news for you as we continue.
South Bay Jewelry has established trust and been a confidant in Laguna Woods for over 30 years. It's very scary trying to figure out which of our possessions are valuable, what pieces we should leave to our children, and which ones we should cash out.
For nearly 30 years, we have worked and consulted with our friends in Laguna Woods to help them sort through their possessions, guiding their decision to sell and the legacy to their heirs.
Protect Your Legacy, located near Trader Joe's.